All right, welcome back to another episode of the Real Estate Huddle, and we are here at episode 38, and we're going to talk about Englewood, always up to no good, Colorado, not California. There's an Englewood and a Lakewood, California as well, so you got to be careful with that on your Google searches. Englewood, Colorado, which is just south of Denver and one of the closest suburbs to the Denver area. Still a lot of not quite turn of the century. There's probably a couple, but there's a lot of 1920s, 30s, 40s construction. A lot of brick ranches, that type of build. So some great real estate. And what comes to mind first to me is the South Broadway area. It's just hopping. That's one of those that's turned over and just blown up over the last 10 to 15 years. Mm-hmm. And so that's been cool with art districts, with all kinds of places to eat. Just a really fun area to be in. And so what are some other things that stand out to you guys? And maybe just some basic facts to start us off. Brock, you got anything on Englewood?
Yeah. So kind of give you a little lay of the land of what Englewood is. So according to datausa.io, population wise, we're at 33,000 as of in 2022. Median household income is just shy of $80K a year. So 79,375. Which is actually almost at a 10% growth from the year prior. So median property values, according to these folks, is $472, which is about a 15% growth. And the median age is 36.1 years.
That's
young. Pretty young crowd.
That's a young crowd.
Then kind of give you a little lay of the land of what it is. The schools there actually are rated pretty well. So according to greatschools.org, there's only a couple sixes. There's a lot of sevens and eights and a couple 10 out of 10. So really good school system, really good place to raise your kids. So, young family starting out, that's a great place to be.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. What are your favorite things to do, Jackson?
Man, first thing I think of is Pirates Cove Water Park.
Yes.
As a kid, definitely going there a lot. I know they do adult nights now.
Yeah.
So definitely a cool thing there.
And they actually allow corporate venues, so you can rent that out after the park closes. Especially the last couple of weeks where we've had almost 100-degree heat in Colorado here. I had a corporate event there where we were actually able to go with the family, and we had a taco truck and pizza and all sorts of stuff for one of the partners we work with, and it was a great time to go do that, and it was still really warm. So get a couple hours there where you're kind of not fighting all the big crowds. So great place.
Yeah. Water slides, pools, lazy river, right? All kinds of stuff with a pirate theme. So that place is awesome. And they still have your old classic diving boards too.
Yeah, the springboards.
Torn it down. Yeah. So that's a good one. Other things to do. I know Bellevue Park is there, which is really cool. My wife loves to take our kids there. I've been once, but I had a great time. There's a little stream flowing through it, and so kids can play in the water. And there's you're just river stone bottom stream, and so if you bring kids, have them wear their Crocs or flip flops so they can walk in the river a little bit.
It's Colorado; they wear Keens.
We used to catch crawdads in that river.
There you go.
Oh, cool.
Not to eat them or anything, but just for funsies.
And they do have a model of an aircraft there that's fun for those that like to get into the aviation side of things. So you can
that's cool.
Go see that.
And a train.
I don't know who would be into aviation.
Yeah,
I don't know. This is a space headquarters here. So.
And then we also, and just for those of you listening, Brock was in aerospace engineering for a very long time, a couple decades, right?
I'm not going to admit to that time frame, but yeah.
And has found a new path in real estate. But we also Bellevue Park, they've got a little petting zoo, right? And a train and some really cool things like that too, to just take kids around to, and or adults that are into that sort of thing. And if you like the choo-choo train, you can go for a ride.
That's the other.
There's nothing stopping you. And then what else we got? Some good stuff there.
Yeah, real estate wise, like you were saying, a lot of it was built, 1910s to the 40s. So zoning wise, at least anecdotally for me, I've seen a lot of zoning that allows ADUs and other opportunities where, you could build an accessory dwelling unit in your backyard and add value, that way, rent it out or just use it yourself.
Yeah.
So you have a little bit more freedom in terms of their zoning and just
HOA.
legislation around there.
That's
or
a great
lack of
point.
HOAs. Yeah.
Great point. From a investor standpoint, if you want a duplex It is really hard to find one anywhere else outside of Englewood because of their loose zoning and a lot of multi-unit friendly type lots. So, and with the new ADUs, what is an ADU?
Yeah, ADU just stands for accessory dwelling unit. Essentially, it could be a carriage house. It could be, any other dwelling other than your house that you build on your property. So
could be an Airbnb, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can have it separate, rent that out, have that rental income being generated, not have to worry about people in your house. That's pretty awesome.
And we also learned how to 1031 exchange that property separately. So that's another topic we covered. So.
Right. Yeah. You can protect yourself from some tax liabilities if you have part of your property that's mixed use. So there's a lot of opportunities for investment, or if you're just a homeowner who, wants to make the most of your home and start earning money on that. I think Englewood's good. I also think it's getting younger. Like you said, it's a relatively young median age right now. But I know a lot of younger people who are kind of moving that direction, who might be priced out of more like southern neighborhoods, things like that, who like what Englewood has to offer, especially the proximity to Denver.
Is it Hipsterville?
Not quite, but it's getting there. Okay.
But it's got a little bit of a hipster vibe, right, on South Broadway. With
especially
all
like South Broadway, yeah. There's a lot of like trendy bars. Like one that comes to mind, kind of in that area, is like it's called Grandma's House or something, and like the whole place is made to look like just so outdated and like garishly like your grandma decorated it. Like so, there's like cool kind of hipstery places down there. There's a lot of places to eat.
Smells like grass.
Good food. Yeah,
a little bit sometimes.
Maybe,
but I think, there's like some amazing places to eat. What are some of those that you guys love down there?
The good one I've seen is the Feedery, which is kind of like a farm fresh to table. It's kind of unique because it's a renovated historic auto shop that they converted into a restaurant. So they kind of source everything locally. Really good reviews and good recommendations there. But the one place that I've really enjoyed, if you got an anniversary or a special occasion coming up, or if you really just love Italian food, I know, Landin, this may hurt your normal go-to for Italian. Ondisi in Englewood. It's off of 1200 East Hamden. Really great experience. So I went there with my wife, very hungry. We ended up sharing just about every meal every appetizer, all the courses, all the way through, and we were happy with absolutely everything. So it was just a great experience, and so they've got quite the wine selection there too, if you want to pair that with some of your food as well.
That's pretty awesome.
So how do you spell that if somebody's trying to look that up?
Undici.
Okay.
So it means 11 in Italian. So,
but is the owner straight up from Italy and just as friendly as Eileen from Cafe Giordano?
I didn't meet the owner.
Okay.
But the rest of the staff was very helpful. So.
Okay. All right.
You can imagine that the owner is whatever kind of person you want to be, and then just enjoy the food.
Parking is a little bit limited, so there's street parking, or there is a lot across the street there that try and get to. But other than that, it was wonderful experience. So,
do they give your kids toys to play with?
Didn't go with the kids, so it was probably the reason why it was a good experience. So.
Fair enough. Just trying to see how it measures up.
Yeah.
Steakhouse 10. Speaking of some place that's been renovated, Jesse will throw a picture of this on the screen, but this is a Steakhouse 10 used to be a fast food restaurant. I don't know if it was like an Arby's or something like that. They renovated this place into like a high-end steakhouse, and it's unreal. And the steaks are amazing. They have all kinds of meats, but then the coolest part of the whole meal, definitely spend $20 on this appetizer. It's called the saganaki, which is casseri cheese fried and flamed with brandy. So it not blows up, but it flames up as soon as they light it, and it's just like a really fun thing. And then you dip I think it's some bread that you dip into the cheese that gets soft and kind of melted on the plate, and it's got such a good flavor with the brandy and everything. So really good stuff. Love Steakhouse 10. Great experience.
That sounds good.
Yep. Awesome.
I'm looking at the picture here, folks. It looks really good. So.
Yeah.
Sorry if I'm drooling.
Any other great places to eat you guys like down there? Or bars or...
I think there's Outlaw Smokehouse, like a barbecue place down there that has good reviews. You definitely have Englewood is developed out. It's been there for a while, so there's plenty of like if you are looking for Qdoba or Chipotle or any like chains, you're probably going to have those nearby as well.
Yeah.
And then also you can go into Denver. There's a ton of restaurants there. Like you said, if you're going like west towards Broadway, just all up and down Broadway, there's a ton of cool stuff these days.
Yeah, they got the Santa Fe and 275 or 285 in Santa Fe, kind of in that area on the east side there. It's got a lot of restaurants that have kind of rotated through. There's some good gems in there that have been kind of staples there.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
There's a really cool place called Brewability, kind of in that South Broadway area. They also have Pizzability. They hire only like disabled individuals. I can't speak to their pizza, but it has really good reviews. Their drinks are really good. The staff's all really cool and friendly. So cool little spot. They have a nice outside area too. So if you're looking to support disabled people, I think they also, I can't be quoted on this, but I think they donate like a certain amount of their proceeds towards those kind of causes too. So
cool.
That's cool. Yeah, there's the Breakfast Queen too. If you're looking for a place to eat breakfast, it's got lots of big wide open tables, great menu. That's a fun one I just went to last month. So really good places to eat, and I would suggest just if you're into art at all, like go check out the art districts, walk through there. And again, this is like the city that is directly connected to Denver. So commutes are really small if you're trying to get to work. Super easy to get to work downtown or DTC. You're like right in the middle of the Denver Tech Center. Part of the Denver Tech Center is Englewood. So we should mention that too, right? Like Denver Tech Center is a huge work hub where a lot of jobs are, and it's just southeast of Denver on the highway on I-25. And most of it's Englewood, I would say, and then it kind of runs into Lone Tree and Centennial a little bit too. Yeah. Greenwood Village is part of it. It's like 4 cities, but it goes for like 4 or 5 exits on the highway are all considered that Denver Tech Center where a lot of jobs are.
The 4 corners of cities here.
Yep. Yeah. And real estate values tend to be higher in those areas, right? Where you have jobs. And so that's why it's nice to be in Englewood, because you're close to everything. And I've had anywhere from first-time home buyers that have been really happy there and lived there for a long time. And a little more of a, if you don't like the cookie cutter type feel of a neighborhood, maybe built in the 90s, you know, it's older construction. Everybody's house looks a little different just because of the way things were built back then.
And the upgrades they've done along the years.
Yeah, and a little bigger yards too, compared to the house size. Yeah,
a lot more mature trees.
A little more spread out. Yep.
Yeah, that's a big thing that I don't know if your average home buyer considers as much as realtors. We see it all the time. Like if you're in a new build community, they planted a 3-year-old tree 2 months ago, and it's like having a hard time because it just got planted there. If you're in a more established neighborhood, you're going to have those trees that, you know, have been there for decades and are actually providing shade as a shade tree is supposed to.
Yep, absolutely. Did we hit all the big like things to do in Englewood?
We got Pirates Cove. That's the fun for the family that they like. So
yeah, Gothic Theater. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
I saw a few concerts there growing up, and it's a very kind of smaller theater, but you get a lot of big bands that go through there actually, or at least as they're up and coming, like they've gone through there. So it's a good venue on South Broadway.
Yeah, there's First Fridays, like in the art district off Broadway there, like the first Friday of each month. They close down the street. It's a big art walk. There's a bunch of like food places, like food trucks and vendors come. So that's cool. You can just walk around like multiple different galleries, and, you know, they're all kind of coordinating together for those First Fridays.
That's cool.
And Englewood's one of the few towns that still has an Army surplus store in it. So that's kind of an older tradition that seems to be fading out as the commercialized suburbs start taking over. So,
for sure, yeah. And I think the rec center too is awesome. Like a lot of people play basketball and swim, do weights there at the rec center. And it's a huge rec center that's really nice, and they take good care of it. So there's some really good good just amenities, within the community. No, not really an HOA at all. I mean, everything's HOA free, so you can kind of do what you want to and not be governed by a city HOA that's on top of you. But they have done some really good things as a government, to like bring in the fun, to bring in parks and rec center and different things like that, so that it's more enjoyable to live there. So
yeah, and for those that live in Englewood, you get discount admissions to Pirates Cove. So a lot of community sponsored activities there. So they really help support that.
Yeah, definitely. And what's the new pickleball park that's huge there?
Oh, you're asking the wrong guy.
They have
We need Chad here. He'll know.
It's right over there as well, like by Pirates Cove. It's really close to that.
If you're into pickleball and you're thinking of moving to Colorado, there's probably
Cornerstone.
a pickleball court near you, too.
Cornerstone Park. I think it might be a Littleton address, but it's like right on the border of Littleton and Englewood. But Cornerstone Park's got a ton of pickleball courts, big, huge park, open space. That's a really good spot in town. And you're close to Pirates Cove and all that stuff that kind of runs you're just north of downtown Littleton. So that would be your next bordering town south. So I would live in Englewood if commute is really important to you and you want to be just a very small commute. Also, if you want a little more independence and you're a little more individualistic with what you like in your real estate preferences and you don't want to be in like a cookie cutter scenario, right? It's a really cool spot for those types of people. Just know if you can do whatever you want, so can your neighbors. So keep that in mind, because you can't really control. There's no governing body to control what they're doing outside of zoning laws. So that would be a con, I guess, if you're more concerned about that. But
and you're really close. There is a good bike park with kind of the BMX style tracks and whatever else. So Englewood neighbors that. So it's Ruby Hill is the name of the park. So you're right down the street from it. So.
Federal Heights is right there too. Big Federal Heights building is beautiful. You can see it from a long ways away too. It's up on a hill. So awesome. Well, some cool facts about Englewood. If you do have interest in moving to Englewood and you've been considering a move to Colorado and like Englewood's one of the areas that you would consider, please reach out to us. I hope this information's been helpful and we hope that we can be a great resource for you here in the Denver metro area. And there's not many spots where we can say great schools and also very short commute. So that's what makes Englewood very special. And if you need more info on the real estate, the types of properties there, or the specific homes that might fit your individual or family size, please give us a call and we'll be happy to help you with that. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you on the next one. So if you have enjoyed what you're listening to and you'd like to hear more, make sure to press that subscribe button so that you can not miss out on any more episodes that are coming up. And also check out all of our contact information is below. You can see us at the dreamsmithteam.com to look up more information about our team and our history and all of the members of our team and see contact information that you can reach us if you have any real estate needs.
See you next time.